playing with the enemy, it will bring about very negative results. All right. All right. And I'm fixing to switch gears one more time. All right. And we're going to the last part here. All right.
Come on.
So if it has a negative effect on your home, has a negative effect on your family, a negative effect on your life. All right. What will it do to your church life?
Come on.
What will it do to your church? I've said it for years. The problem with the churches today are the people in the churches.
That's
today.
right.
If we all go outside, all right, and stand in the parking lot, there will be no junk in this house.
No.
All right? This house will be empty. The only thing that will be here is the presence of God because it's His house.
Yeah.
But one by one we come in. All right? And we bring stuff in.
Yeah.
You know, this morning, there's no telling what we got in our pockets that we brought in, all right? I'm not going to load my pockets, all right? But, you know, we bring in wallets, we bring in keys, chewing gum, candy, cell phones, all this stuff. We bring this in. The thing is, we bring in things that we can't see.
Right.
All right? We play with the things during the week.
Come on.
And they leave a shadow on our life. They leave a dark mark on our life.
Yeah.
And when we walk through the doors of that church, we bring it in here.
Yes, we do.
We wonder why the churches are in the shape that they're in. It's because the people in the churches are filling the house of God with junk. All right? And we refuse to get our lives cleaned up.
Yeah.
The Bible says be hot or cold.
Come on.
Be in or out. All right? Truly, this is my translation, you can argue with me if you want to. All right, God says, if you're going to come into my house, I want you to be on fire.
Come on.
If you're going to be lukewarm, He said, I'm going to spit you out of my mouth. I'd rather you stay at home.
Come on, Pastor.
Right?
Come on.
Because we come in and we've got this junk on us, and next thing you know, you're sharing your junk with your neighbor. You know? And then they're sharing it with their neighbor. Before long, there's gossip running through the church, or there's an argument running through the church, or something. Amy and Hunter in the back gossiping about Brian and Tammy.
Yeah.
All right? That's how it works.
Yes.
All right? Our churches are being destroyed not by Satan, not by our enemy. They're being destroyed by us.
Yes.
All right? But I have an example for you, all right? In Joshua chapter 6, okay?
Come on, brother.
We find that God gives a commandment, okay? All right? We know what to live, right? We know how to live. We know how to act. Do we not? All right?
Exactly.
How many of you have a Bible or have access to a Bible, all right?
Amen.
All right? This right here is the roadmap for your life, all right?
That's right.
God tells you there's 10 commandments, all right? Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not covet, thou shalt not commit adultery, and there's several more, all right? There's 6 more. I couldn't remember how many I'd said, so, all right? Those are guidelines for our life, okay? When we don't obey those, all right, we are disobedient to the Word of God.
Come on.
All right? I'm preaching it right.
Yes, you are.
When you break God's law, you are disobedient to God. Am I right?
Yes, you're right.
Right.
In Joshua chapter 6, we find that God gives a commandment, all right? All right, and what happens? Everybody falls into place, all right? Except for one. Except for one, all right? How many of you have heard of a man called Achan?
Come on.
Achan. All right? And as I said, I'm challenging you to study this, all right?
Yes.
So read Joshua chapter 6, okay? All right? In chapter 6, verse 18, God told them, He said, keep yourselves from the accursed things.
Come on.
Okay? Don't play with the things of the world. Don't touch them. Stay away from them.
Yeah.
Right? God told the nation of Israel this. He said, don't touch any of the accursed things. All right? Leave them alone. All right? Everybody did exactly what God had commanded except for one person. And his name was Achan. All right? So what happens? All right? Well, it's just one person in the church. It's just one person in the camp. All right? So Joshua leads his army into battle, not knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
All right? He leads his army into battle expecting the same result. All right? God had blessed them. They had gone in and they had wiped out Jericho. They had wiped out the giants, the sons of Anak that had filled the land. They had wiped them all out. Okay. So Joshua, not knowing what I forgot his name. Achan. Wow. Too many A words, okay?
I know.
Not knowing what Achan had done, Joshua leads the army of God into battle, okay? All right, and actually they get there, all right, and read the story yourself. Joshua says, you know what, there's not that many of them, okay?
Yeah.
We're only going to send a couple guys, you know. All right, instead of sending the whole church, I'm just sending y'all, okay? This hat, I just want y'all to go get them, okay? Let's take care of it real quick, come back, and we'll have hamburgers for lunch, all right?
Yeah.
Well, on a normal day walking in obedience to God, that would have worked, okay?
Yeah.
But when you got Achan in the camp, something bad happens. It said that this small group of the Israelites walked into this town and they got their tails handed to them. All right? And they were killed and they were run back out. And they come back to Joshua and they said, nothing worked. Everything we tried, they countered it, all right? They completely defeated us. And immediately Joshua knew that there was something wrong in the camp.
Come on.
And he inquired of God and he began to pray, all right? And what he did was God had them to line everybody up and just ask them, hey, did you do this, all right?
Yeah.
All right? And he finally come to a man named Achan, and Achan was honest, and he told him what he had done. All right? All right? Achan had touched the accursed things. He had been playing with the world, but living in the camp of God.
Come on.
I want you to understand this morning, what Achan did was, he took a robe, he took some gold, and he took some silver, okay? All right? He brought them back into the camp of God, and he hid them under his tent.
Yeah.
Right? He actually went as far as he dug a hole under his tent, and put it in, then covered it back, and put his tent on top of it to hide it completely. I want you to understand this morning, all right? It wasn't the theft that was Achan's sin.
Come on.
It wasn't hiding it that was Achan's sin. It was being disobedient to the word of God that brought sin into Achan's life.
Yes.
All right. Now, what did Achan do? All right. If Achan had taken those things and ran, you know what? Achan would have been in trouble.
Yeah.
You know what? If you rob a bank and you go out on the run, all right, the cops will catch you down the road, all right? You know, no big deal. You're the only one to get caught up in it, all right? See, Achan didn't do that, though. He brought it back into his camp.
Yeah.
He brought it back into his church.
Yeah.
He brought it back into his life, all right? If I go rob a bank and I bring it back into my house, you know what? They're going to knock the door of my house in looking for me, all right?
Right.
Amy and Hunter are going to get caught up in it.
Yeah.
If I rob a bank and come in here and put it under the floorboards, you know what? They're going to bust in here and it's going to be brought into my church, our church, because of something that I did. All right? Joshua 6:18, it says, keep yourself from the accursed thing, lest you make yourself accursed.
Yeah.
When you touch and play with the things of the world, they will rub off on you.
Come on.
All right? Joshua 6:18, lest you make yourselves accursed when you take of the accursed thing, and you make the camp of Israel a curse and trouble it. All right? When you come to church and you bring Satan's toys with you, all right?
Come on.
You trouble this house. All right? You bring a curse upon this house. All right? How many of you have ever asked this question? All right? And I've been asked it by several people. All right? How many of you have wondered, all right, what has been holding our church back?
Yeah.
All right? How many times have you wondered, is it me?
You better come on.
All right? I'm throwing in a free note here for just a second. All right? If you feel our church is being held back and you don't look at yourself first, you're wrong.
That's right.
I question myself first. All right? I don't blame Brian if I think something's going wrong. I say, what did Andrew do wrong?
That's right. Come on.
All right? But how many of us have wondered what is holding our church back? Why are certain things not working like they should? All right? There are several reasons. There's actually 3 reasons. All right? And I'm going to run through the first 2 very quickly, all right, because we've already talked about them. One, the vision is for yet appointed time.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not time yet, okay? All right? That's the one nobody wants to hear. Okay?
No.
We are an on-time people. We want it right
now.
A microwave oven was invented because we couldn't wait 10 minutes to get French fries. We wanted 30 seconds. All right?
Come on, bro.
But the vision is for an appointed time, and in God's time it will be poured out. The second thing, all right, we are under such a heavy load of spiritual warfare that we have been slowed down. All right? You go back to Daniel and you look at him, all right, the angel broke through. It took him 3 weeks to get there. He said, I was contended with but I left the first day, okay? We're getting there step by step, all right? But we've got everything this side of hell coming against us, okay? So you know what? I'm okay with that. Each day, if we take one step forward, we will get there, all right? But the third thing is, all right, and this is where it fits in today, all right? We bring junk into God's house, and we expect Him to bless it, all right? It does not work like that, all right? Most preachers will tell you this morning that Achan is a person.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, I've heard that one, okay? And that's rough, because what that does, you're sitting here in your pew, and the preacher begins to talk about Achan, and you start looking over at your neighbor. And then you scoot away. What's Brian got today? Am I being honest with you?
Being honest.
Some of you that may have popped in your head already. Well, if Achan's sitting in our camp this morning, who is it?
Come on.
It's all of us. See, Achan was a person in the Bible, but Achan is also a spirit.
Yeah.
All right, it's a spirit of rebellion. It is a spirit of disobedience. Okay? I told you, Achan's sin wasn't the theft; it was the disobedience to the commandment of God. We are all Achan. All right.
Come on.
All right. God has told us how to live and how to act. We need to be held accountable for that. All right. We will be held accountable for that.
Yes, we will.
Either here or there. All right? But what's important is when we're held accountable here, because if we will get this stuff out of our lives will become better. All right? If we'll get our lives better, our homes will be better. If our homes will be better, then our church will be better.
Yes.
All right? So God is giving us instructions, okay? All right, this morning, all right, I'm not going to use any of y'all as an example, okay? I don't want to do that, all right, especially with the type of things that I'm going to describe here for you shortly, all right? So I'm going to use me, all right? That's the best example I have, okay? I can only preach about what I know.
Come on.
I can only preach about my experiences, all right? So I'm going to point the finger at me for just a minute, all right? If I'm doing something that is holding this church back, I want to know about it, all right? So that I can fix it. All right? I hope each and every one of you feel the same way.
Yes.
All right? If you don't, all right, if you don't want to fix your life so that your church will be better, if you don't want this church to prosper, if you don't want to see the prophecies that have been spoken about this church fulfilled, if you don't think that this church has a future, all right, I'm just going to be point blank with you. The door's right back there.
That's right.
All right? Find a church that you will come into faithful fellowship with.
Yes.
A church that you believe in. All right? As for me and my house, I will serve the Lord, and God has placed me here in this church to serve Him. All right?
Yeah.
If you can't say that 100% about your own life, all right, then you need to seek God. The Bible says if you lack wisdom, ask God, He'll give it to you. All right?
Yes, He will.
All right? So if you say that you believe that God has placed you in this church, and that you're willing to work for this church, all right, and that you're willing to do what God has called you to do in this church, all right, there's some things we need to take care of. All right? All right? Now, here's the thing. I need to take care of Andrew.
Come on.
All right? You know what? I can pray for Brother Ronnie, but I can't fix Brother Ronnie.
No.
All right? I need to focus on me. When I focus on me, all right, you know what? Maybe I will be an example for Brother Ronnie.
Yeah.
All right? We all have issues, all right? But God has given me 5 that I'm going to talk about right quick, all right? How many of you slid your feet back under the pews by now? All right?
Come on.
Go ahead and stick them back out, okay? All right? This is necessary, okay? This is the meat of the message here, all right? And this is one of those things, you know what? As a preacher, you don't want to talk about, but I'm going to, all right? So 5 things, all right? First thing that we need to take care of, not at Where's Baptist, not at Shiloh, things we need to take care of at Agape today.
Yes.
Doubting your brothers and your sisters. All right? Today, and I said I'm going to use me as an example. All right? If I do something and you don't understand it, all right, you are to come to me and you are to ask me, Andrew, what are you doing?
That's right.
All right? If I say something, all right, and you don't agree with it or you don't understand it, all right, you are to come to me and you are to, in faithful friendship, fellowship, unity, however you want to put it, in peace, we are to talk about this. All right, when you talk about a situation, it gets resolved.
Come on.
Right.
All right? But when you don't do that, all right? And do you mind if I use your brother? Okay. I love Brother Ronnie. So I'm not saying anything bad about him. But if Brother Ronnie does say something that I don't agree with, and I don't go to Brother Ronnie, you know what? I begin to doubt him.
Amen.
Right? When Brother Ronnie said that about this thing, I don't think he's listening to God.
Come on.
If I doubt his connection with God, then I doubt his calling. I doubt his mission work.
Yeah.
I doubt what God has given him to do with his wife and in his life.
Yes.
I doubt, it can go as far, I don't even know if Ronnie's listening to God. Who's he listening to?
Come on.
Well, if Ronnie's not listening to God, is Ronnie even saved?
Come on.
All right? What is that doing with the relationship between me and Ronnie? All right? Do you think I'm going to ask Ronnie to pray for me?
No.
Do you think I'm going to ask Ronnie to do anything inside of the church?
No.
It's destroying relationships.
Right.
That's what Satan likes to do.
Yes.
Satan loves to tear things down. All right? As I said, the family is being destroyed. The mother and the daddy and the children. That's the way God set it up. All right? If you don't believe me, go back to the book of Genesis. He said He created man and woman.
Yeah.
All right? Jody, the previous pastor, he said God created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Okay?
That's right.
But that is being destroyed. You're taking a woman or a man out of the situation and you're replacing it with something unnatural.
Come on.
All right? The family is being destroyed, but relationships between one another are being destroyed. All right? How many of you have a cell phone? All right? How many of you text on it? All right? The simple communication of picking up the phone and talking to people is being stripped away because it's easier to type.
Yeah.
All right? The last phone I had, I got upset with it because I bought it and it was an expensive phone. All right? And I couldn't hear people on it and they couldn't hear me. And I went back to AT&T and I told them, I said, I can't get the volume up high enough. And they said, oh, that phone's not designed to talk on.
Come on.
I said, what is it? They said, it's designed for you to be able to download things on it, to hook it into your computer, and to do the texting and to do the web browsing. I said, I want to be able to talk to people.
Yeah.
All right? But our relationships are being so torn apart that we don't even talk to people anymore.
That's right.
We'll send them an email. We'll send them a text. Okay?
Yeah.
We'll send them a Facebook message. All right?
Yeah.
And it's communication. All right? But our children, all right, and there are studies about this, our children don't know how to spell anymore because they're, instead of saying laughing out loud, they're typing in LOL.
That's right.
All right? And see, people don't have a problem with it. All right? Half of those things, I don't even know what they are. All right? I try to look them up. All right? I asked Amy what one was the other day. Speak English, people. Come on. All right? If you're going to type me something and I can't understand it, I don't know what you're talking about. But see, Satan he's destroying these things.
Yes,
all right?
he is.
It's quicker and it's easier. All right? You know what? If I've got a problem with Ronnie, you know what? I want to pick up the phone and say, brother, are you okay?
That's right.
I want to be able to sit on his porch, all right, and watch the spring go by, and us talk about it.
Yeah.
All right? Our relationships are being destroyed, brothers and sisters in Christ, because we doubt one another. Okay?
Come on.
All right? The second thing, all right? Now, I guarantee you, I know this one inside and out. Okay? All right? I guess I've never shared this publicly in front of the church. All right? There have been 2 times in my life that I have been locked up in jail. Okay?
Come on.
Both of them were because of my brother.
Yeah.
All right? Both of them were the police having to separate us because we were fighting. Right?
Yeah.
Both times I was defending my home. Okay? All right? But my brother had got so angry at me and I got so angry at him that we had torn into each other. Okay?
Yeah.
All right? He was, several times he was drunk, okay? I wasn't, but still, there was such an anger inside of me that it destroyed part of my relationship with my brother.
Yeah.
All right? All right? Anger has no place in a child of God's life.
Come on.
All right? The Bible says, do not let the sun go down upon your wrath. Don't let it go down upon your anger. All right? This place, this house of worship, it is a house of worship. It's a house of prayer.
Yes, it is.
It didn't say it's a place of anger. All right? There is no place in this house for anger. All right?
Come on,
if
Pastor.
we bring anger, as Achan, if we bring anger into this place, all right, it will destroy this place.
Amen.
All right? If we cannot get along with one another, we need to make a change.
Yes.
All right? If you don't like